and not just somebody in a... My laundry's done. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. I feel like I probably can't say that all the time because it's gonna get really tiring to say over this month. The next movie we're gonna be talking about is Tremors, which is, I guess it's a horror movie. It's more like a monster movie, but that's a horror movie. Don't know where I'm going with this. I mostly watched it based on a suggestion from a coworker. She was telling me about it or trying to describe it to me, and I mean, I was intrigued by killer sandworms and the Kevin Bacon combination, so decided I should watch it, and wasn't all that disappointed. It was actually quite good. Basically, Tremors is about a small town, very small town called Paradise, right? Isn't it called Paradise? It's called Paradise, right? Or did I just make that up? They live in a very small town, and when I say small, I mean like I think there's like 9 people that live there, or 10 people. And our main characters, Val and Earl, are kind of like the bumbling handymen of the town. They just do odd jobs for like the other 7 people that live there, and they are trying to leave. They're trying to leave Paradise, and I feel like it's not called Paradise. Whatever. I've been wrong before. But they're trying to leave their town and, you know, kind of make something of themselves, I guess. But of course, as they try to leave, their town is attacked by these subterranean sandworm monster things that have effectively blocked their way out via attacking other people. They cause like a rock slide to block the road, and yeah. So them and the town and the college student that just so happened to be working out there, Rhonda, the college student that just so happens to be in town reading her seismograph thing. Of course she's there recording that sort of activity, and she catches it first. She catches the vibrations in the ground, but she of course just happens to be in the town when this happens. So they're all trying to fight their way out, which is difficult. It's like a huge game of the floor is lava. I'm sure everybody out there had played that at least once as a child, where you pretend that the floor is lava and you are climbing all over the furniture and things because you can't touch the floor, and if you touch the floor you die, which is not essentially, like it actually is like what this movie is. The sandworms can like feel the vibrations on the ground, so if you're on the ground for too long, they come and gobble you up. So it is a huge game of the floor is lava. So it's an interesting conflict. It's an interesting conflict, like how do you escape when you can't touch the ground? And of course they have no means of flying out of there, and of course they're a very secluded town, so they have no means of reaching the outside world to get help. So, and of course along the way people die until they eventually are able to outsmart the beasts one by one and kill them off and save the town. So I did quite enjoy this movie. It's kind of silly. It's kind of silly, not scary really. From what I understand, it was a cult classic, so upon its theatrical release it wasn't very popular, but then like any cult classic, it develops a following a little bit later after its theatrical release. That was hard to get through. It developed a following, and now it's a cult classic, which I can understand. It is very silly, but interesting to watch. The cool thing about Tremors is there's like almost no or like zero digital effects in this movie. The sandworms are like all puppetry and like somebody made those things. Like I just thought that was so cool, and you don't really see a lot of that anymore. This movie came out in 1990. You don't really see that anymore. Not at least like in an entire movie. That's the great thing about horror. I feel like they still kind of keep that alive. There are still horror movies that their special effects and things are mostly practical, if not all practical, instead of just resorting to CGI. Sometimes you can't help it, and that's fine. Like, we have the technology to do that now, but I feel like I appreciate it so much more when I know that somebody made that. Like, somebody made that and it was like an actual physical thing. It's not just like a man in a green suit or whatever that gets added on digitally. Not that the people that do CGI aren't artists as well. It does take an impressive set of skills to do that as well. In my opinion, I can't do that, so to me it's impressive. Probably the best part of the movie, or the best points of the movie in my opinion, are Reba McEntire's character and her husband, whose name is Bert, who are like, I wouldn't necessarily say like survivalists, but kind of. They're like gun enthusiasts and survivalists, and they have like this whole building just like full of guns, which is so cool. And they're very like rough and tough, so they like pack all their bags full of like explosives and things to beat the worms, which is cool. They're like besides Kevin Bacon, they're like the best characters. I do love them. Overall, did enjoy the movie. It's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch. It's not particularly amazing or eye-opening or anything like that. It's just something fun to watch. I can definitely see watching that movie, like having friends over and chilling and watching Tremors and just having a good time watching it, for sure. So if you've seen Tremors, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. Let me know if the sequels are worth watching too. And yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye. You know, I kind of have a creature like those sandworms that lives in my house. She's got 4 legs and a tail, and I call her